It was great growing up in Balltown. You had a lot of families that were mom and dad's age with kids that were our age, so I was just telling somebody this the other day. You get up in the morning and eat breakfast and head over to the Ball Diamond and had to be home at lunch at 11:30 and then home again when Dad came home at 3:30 from John Deere to make sure you could run down and grab his beer and sit on the porch so you could have a beer, and then after dinner you were free to go and the street lights came on, get your butt home.
Born and raised in Dubuque. I grew up on the north end and attended Catholic schools all through high school, and then I met Kevin after high school, and he grew up north of Dubuque, went to Catholic schools also, and then we got married and raised our children here.
Grew up on a lake with water and boats and fishing and hunted all the time in the fall and just lived a life outdoors, I guess.
Mitchell, from day one, very active young man, always has been, full of energy.
From the time he was big enough to move inside of her, he was always moving. She goes, man, this kid just never sits still. He's always moving and kicking, and then when he was born, he was the same way. And for some reason, we named him Mitchell and spelled it M-I-T-C-H-E-L-L, and we always joked that the last 4 letters of his first name spelled hell.
Mitch was my baby. I was 4 years old when he was born, and he was just my little baby doll. I got to carry him around and show him off. And then he started getting, in that toddler age, and as we both got a little older, he was, the annoying little brother.
He's got such a sharp mind. He was always asking questions, and that annoyed me at first, but I realized that's just how his mind works, and he can take apart things, and he understands all about computers and TVs, and so whenever I have a problem, I ask him. I was down at college, first year of college, and having problems with my computer, I'm calling home to my 14-year-old brother, trying to get some help. So.
Hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, swimming, anything outdoors. Family, always together. Our family's real close-knit, both sides. Life was good.
Perfectly healthy kid, never had a problem. And he was hunting with his father one weekend, and he said to Kevin, I'm really hungry, can we stop to eat? And he was patting his stomach, and he said, one side of my stomach is harder than the other.
And Val was taking him in for a checkup. She's giving me updates from time to time. Nothing. I said, do you want me to go with? And she goes, nah, I'm sure it's nothing, just something goofy.
So we went into the doctor, and he took all kinds of tests. He said, well, your spleen's really enlarged. You probably have an infection. So we said, okay. Said, let's run some tests, come back this afternoon. He went back to school in between because they were at a concert that night, and he needed to practice. And
as the day went on, I got a few phone calls here and there. Well, they want to run a CT scan now. They want to run a CBC on him. So I said, is everything okay? She goes, yeah, they just want to be thorough. And about 10 minutes later, our doctor from Dubuque called and said, I'll never forget this. I'm on the 17th green at Thunder Hills getting ready to putt. I got 3 of my buddies with me. The phone rings and I say, hello. She goes, can you come home? They think Mitchell's got leukemia.
May 21st, 2007, I was diagnosed with chronic myelogenous leukemia. Kind of came out of nowhere.
I was shocked because he was so healthy. I mean, you would look at him, you had no clue. It's still you don't. that he was sick.
I started crying instantly. That was my first reaction, and then I had to get it together because we had to get all of his test results from the hospital to take to Iowa City.
We need you to come to Iowa City. Mitchell got diagnosed with cancer. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just got in the car and it didn't really hit me. All of a sudden, driving down the road, it finally hit me what happened. I don't remember much of the drive.
Basically got in the hospital, they treated me really well. They didn't sugarcoat anything, told me exactly what was going on, what they were going to do, what they were going to do in the future. It all went from there. It was overwhelming at first, but it was enough that I could handle.
They right away start him on chemo, and then they tell us that he has to have a bone marrow transplant within a year. And he responded so well to this medicine that he takes that they said, you know, maybe we can get him through high school and not have to do the transplant until, you know, delay college by a year and he won't miss any high school. Like, oh, that would be so wonderful.
Yeah, you hear about cancer and you know it's terrible, but it's always somebody else's family, and you never think that it's going to happen to yours. It shakes your whole belief system.
As a family, we get through it together. I think Mitchell has honestly been the strongest one out of all of us. He goes in there, all of his appointments, he gets poked, prodded, and he says, let's go, let's do this, let's fight this.
It sounds goofy to say that we're lucky, but because of this, we're lucky that we get to meet a lot of great people. And everybody's been so gracious, and they all say the same thing. They go, wow, what a neat kid, good luck. I hope, you know, hope things go well for you.
For me, I've grown a lot. Also, I realized that you don't sweat the small stuff, because really, everything's small. You live each day to the fullest and love them as much as you can.
I just want to tell him that I'm proud of him for how strong he was throughout the whole thing, how strong he still is, and I just am proud to be his brother.
I love you, buddy. I'm here for you. I'm so proud of you, and I love you.